What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the most important NYCFC talk show. That is right. It is time for the Dudes in Blue, episode number 164. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm your host, Joe Amato, and alongside me, as always,
Antonino, what's up, dude?
I'm at that weird point where I'm feeling good, but I'm feeling sick. I'm right in between. So I got a head thing going on, and I'm going to power through this.
I think you could. I have faith in you.
I'll tell you what. I'm going to try to put up a better performance than NYCFC did for this next 45 minutes while I'm feeling a little bit under the weather. It's not going to be that hard.
No, I think you can do it relatively easily.
Unbelievable. Thanks for joining us for episode 164. We really appreciate you guys being there. We're going to open up the phone lines pretty soon. So if you're new to the Facebook Live feed and you haven't got on the show yet, now is the time to do it. You can give us the follow, as always, guys. Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, we're at Dudes in Blue. We are going to chat about NYCFC going to Real Salt Lake and absolutely crapping the bed, as they say in the biz of crapping the bed. You know what I mean?
In the crap betting business.
It's absolutely amazing. So, dude, we're gonna give a couple quick shout outs here before anything else, and then we're gonna get to the meat and potatoes of this.
Meat and patad, as they say.
All right, Jamal is checking in, saying what's going on. David checking in from Salt Lake City. Felix, as always, with the hey, dude, somebody we haven't seen here in a while. Coco, what's up?
Coco, what's up?
What's going on? JKE Rhino, as always, checking in. Uncle Dom is here. Jimmy is depressed over this loss. Dave, what's going on? Chris Martinez saying, hey, dudes, guys, you guys are awesome. Share this broadcast with your friends, by the way, if you're checking in with us. We're going to open up the phone lines in a little bit because we definitely want to hear what you guys have to say about this weekend. And we're going to get into it, dude. But what's the biggest takeaway from this match? I mean, the fact that, do we look at the fact that we didn't have Collins, we didn't have Moralez, we didn't have Parks most of the game, but we're supposed to have our best feet forwards forward, I don't know. This is a tough one for me, especially the way the game started.
Yeah, I think aside from the first few minutes of the game where we managed to get on the scoreboard, Just the effort, the clicking wasn't there at all the entire match. I know altitude is difficult, and all the other excuses and things like that, but not a good stretch of past couple games. I mean, yes, we have the wins, but a little shaky and not a great start to the dreaded month of August.
Here we are.
Here
we are.
Typical fashion. I mean, lineup wise, you are missing people, and that's fine. But again, you can't be missing guys and then blaming them because of for the losses. You've got players that are more than capable of getting the job done. Again, you did it fantastically in the first 5 minutes. I just don't know what happened after that moment. Where I mean, it was very uncharacteristic. You didn't see the same kind of possession. You just didn't see the same type of game coming from these guys. And it's not like these guys haven't played before. These guys are all pretty much regular players on a regular basis that get good chunks of minutes. So I don't know how to put my finger on what the issue was, but I think everyone needs to collectively look at this game. Forget about it rather quickly because you've got 2 more games this week, and you got to move forward.
David on Facebook says, Sweat getting hurt was really unfortunate. Ibiaga seemed really slow, and Matarrita played awful. I want to talk about – I want to know from you guys in the comments especially, and you, dude, obviously, because that's just what we're supposed to do here. That goes without saying. But Ben Sweat gets subbed out, going down with an injury in the 17th minute. Now, Sebastian Ibiaga comes in, and listen, dude, the first goal – I got to put a little bit of blame on Ibiaga because he let Savarino just sneak right behind him and blast one into the top of the net. I mean, so that just kind of got things started. That got the belief going for Real Salt Lake, and then it just started kind of snowballing from there, Granted, I mean, we played about 30 minutes without conceding a goal, but at the same time, it went in. So that just got it started. But after that, after Alex Ring's goal, which was a phenomenal goal, by the way, that quick turn and away you go, phenomenal finish from the old captain there. Not enough. Things just switched off after that.
Yeah, and it just didn't look like it was going to be that way at all. It looked like it was going to be the complete opposite. They came out flat-footed. We took it to them. You had a couple of chances in the opening moments, and you buried one of them. I just don't know exactly. It's not like there's a one specific pinpoint thing you can do to lose blame. Listen, this team has come back from being down before, giving up leads and coming back to get wins or get points. They just didn't have it in them. They looked disinterested and tired. And listen, I get it. I understand the scheduling, the traveling. It's difficult. But again, you're professionals, and you know that this is part of the league. And yeah, again, I think.
Well, hold on. I don't know about that, because I could understand making that excuse on Sunday in Atlanta. You know what I mean? I don't know about making it now. I understand you're playing at altitude, but we were able to come away with the result in Colorado.
You're also up a man for a good chunk of the game.
Yeah, true.
So you didn't have that advantage, because again, even in Kansas City, you had the advantage for a little while.
Okay, but what gives them the spark? What then? The tank empties at altitude after the first 5 minutes of the game. After you put one in, you're just going to sit back and take their press the whole game?
Yeah,
for 85 minutes.
I don't agree with it at all. I don't know.
Unbelievable.
It really was. And listen,
I just can't make the travel and altitude excuses when.
This is what you hear. This is what's put out.
I don't like it. I'm telling you right now, I don't like that excuse. Listen, that's for me.
I'm the last one to give excuses, and you know this.
Dude, come on. They're paid to do this. This is their job. You go there with a couple days, you get acclimated to the climate and to the environment, and you go out there and you play 90 minutes, you play the game that you want. How much of this was NYCFC and how much of this was RSL? Because RSL, when they were clicking, were clicking. They were creating chances left and right. It seemed like the goal was inevitable. And how much of this was RSL versus us? I mean, we have a bad record going to Rio Tinto, but so do a lot of other teams. So how much of this was actually RSL as well?
I think RSL definitely put together a good performance. I don't think this game was given away by any stretch of the imagination, but I do think that we could have done a little bit more on the offensive side, and not that possession game that we normally play just really wasn't there 100%. And when that's not there, it's dangerous. And you saw it with the goals that they scored. They weren't easy goals at all. They were really difficult goals to pull off. You had a screamer from outside the box, and then you had a back heel from inside it. So you're playing a good team, and again, you're going to run up against good teams here and then. I just wish we didn't look so poor doing it. It would have been nice with a couple more scoring chances. A 3-2 game, it's cool, I understand, but after that first goal and the failure to really kind of smell the blood in the water and put the foot on the throat and all those other analogies, really just got to refocus for next game.
Put the needle through the thread?
That's it.
Is it too early to throw up? No, it's not. I'm putting it up.
No, not yet.
Perkins.
Gotta make a new one of me just like.
I know, seriously. Unreal. Again, I have a lot of difficulty taking away positives from this. I really do. I mean, it's very difficult for me. So if somebody wants to shed some light on a positive to take away from this game, by all means, please let us know. We're going to open up the phone lines in a couple minutes. But, yeah, I mean, okay, I hate to keep crapping on Matriza here, right? I don't like to do that. I do, actually. It's kind of what we're paid to do. And by paid, I mean not paid. So you're going to listen. If you're here, sorry. I can't – we know he has quality, right? Like, there is no denying that the man is good at what he does. But minute for minute, Hebert has destroyed him as far as production on the field. And he's not living up to the bill. I'm sorry. Like, it's just difficult. Castellanos had a bad game, yes. Hebert had an opportunity, couldn't capitalize on it. Yes, but the guy that is supposed to be the Javinko to NYCFC has been
A Novinko.
has that's awesome. Oh,
Uh,
that's fantastic.
this is what happens. This is what happens when you lose
Instead
games.
of being Sebastian Javinko, he became Lil Sebastian. Parks and Rec fans out there will understand that, but it just hasn't been there, dude. It's not good enough for me. It's not good enough for taking up a DP slot. This is why I have a problem with Medina. It's the same thing. It's the same problem that you have, except you didn't pay $9 million to get Jesus Medina.
Yeah, still overpaid.
Still
Overpaid.
I don't know.
It's frustrating. It is frustrating because I think in all fairness, you would have thought the opposite. You would have thought Matrica would be having the success, and Hebert would have been coming in as a less relatively known player, having a little bit more difficulty. And it wasn't the case. You got a guy who's clearly, in my opinion, could be worthy of a DP slot in Hebert, and the fact that you don't have him in one right now is fantastic. And if you can keep it that way, more power to you. But then you got a guy like Matrica, and all of a sudden Hebert's looking at this, and at the end of the season, if he outproduces him by leaps and bounds, he's going to want to take up a DP slot. So you got to, I don't know what the contract is with the two of them and how many years and whatnot, because we don't really see that until later on, or I don't even know where to find it at this point, to be honest with you. But you just want to see more. You want to see a more consistent basis. And right now, all I'm seeing consistently is dribbling into traffic, losing the ball, and scoring a goal maybe once every 3 games. That's what it feels like to me. You just want to see a little more consistency. Listen, you're talking about 5 unsuccessful crosses and 6 unsuccessful passes in the opposition half. That's not good, especially for a guy who's supposed to be a catalyst as well as a goal-scoring threat. It's just got to be better for me. And Medina, forget about it. I mean, the minute you can get that guy out of a DP slot, I'd say do it. And I'll if he's going somewhere else, I'll drive him to the airport.
Yeah, it's frustrating. It's just it's frustrating.
Really
Again, we still have 4 games in hand on Philly, who wound up picking up a resounding win over DC United last night. Holy crap! I mean, again, DC United going down a man, but still they got to put 5 goals in, and they did. And the gap is widening on the point side when we're not taking advantage of the games in hand that we have, and that's going to be the concern. And again, we play again on Thursday against Houston at home. The return of Tommy McNamara.
Return of the Mac. That's it. Yeah, got it in there.
And then, dude, you play Thursday night, and then you got to fly down to Atlanta and take them on in what just became another MLS record in attendance down at Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Say what you will about them, those guys know how to fill a stadium. And I mean, listen, it helps
actually fill it, not Red Bull sold out filled.
No, I mean, listen, the greatest thing about being down there, literally not one item on the menu, I think, is more than $8.
That's the way they operate.
You can go and they make more money than places that charge more. You're more likely to bring a family with you, to bring friends with you, and you're going to be able to have a meal and you're going to have the dinner and a movie, essentially. The movie being the game, and your meal, you can pretty much eat whatever you want there, and it's not going to make you take out a second mortgage on your house.
True. Very, very true.
I seldom do I eat at the stadium anymore, because it's like it already cost me $40 to park the car. My car, it cost me more to have my car outside watching the game than it does for me to go inside
to actually watch the game.
It's unreal. So again, I like what's going on down there, and kudos to the fans. Actually, there's a thing on Twitter that they want to do a walkout during the NYCFC game because they're unhappy with how things are going.
I think that's a fake account, though.
I would hope it is.
Yeah,
because if you're really upset with the way things are going, with how well they're playing, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, the team wins a championship last year, and all of a sudden now you want things different. If it's a real account, I'll never understand this world.
Yeah, it's fascinating, dude. Should we get the phone lines going here because we're running out of steam on the NYCFC stuff after this crappy game that we
Listen,
witnessed
they
late.
ran out of steam. We ran out of steam.
There you go. Here we go, guys. The line is open. 646-535-7982. Get on the phone with the dudes in blue if you want to talk about this game, if you want to talk about the games coming up, or if there's anything else on your mind NYCFC related that we want to get in on. We're gonna do that before we move on to the dude of the week. Dude, and while we wait for that first call to come through, I noticed that you're wearing a kit of a Belgium variety, and I'm wondering why that is.
So apparently today,
first call coming through, dude.
Oh, all right, we'll get to that first. Go ahead.
We'll get to it. Hey, who's this? You're on the phone with Dudes in Blue. What's your name? Where are you from?
It's Christian from Jersey, boys. How we doing?
Christian, what's going on?
Yeah, you know.
We do know. So, do you know why Antonino is wearing a Belgium kit? And it's not because he loves their chocolate.
Is it have anything to do with Dries Mertens?
Something like that.
It does. It very much does. Again, no idea where the rumor came from because I never heard it before this morning. But apparently, his contract expires next season, and his wife wants him to come play here. So,
yeah, I did see that actually. Apparently, it came from some random guy on Twitter who said that his customer is Tony Press, who is the stadium host apparently at Yankee Stadium. I have no idea where, why Tony would have the line on who they're bringing in next summer or next year. But I mean, hey, I hope he's right. We can use him.
I would agree. I think he's a really solid player. I think he could do some real damage here. The dude's got pace, goal scorer like nobody's business. Again, he's been playing on a team that's got the likes of Callejon and Insigne on the sides of him. So you take that for what you will. But I think he'd be a great addition.
Here's my only problem. My only problem with Dries Mertens coming here is that I won't be able to use him in FIFA anymore. That's my only problem.
He is Belgian. He does still link with De Bruyne.
And I do use De Bruyne.
Yeah.
I'm not using Lukaku though. It ain't gonna happen.
Well, a card that I used really well in the beginning of the year was Michy Batshuayi, who was really pretty darn good. If you put a hunter on him.
I think you were the only one in real life or in fiction that used Michy Batshuayi.
Hey! I scored 70 goals in 81 games with that man. I owe him a lot.
Sign him up.
Well, maybe you should stick a controller up his butt when he plays in real life, and maybe he'll score more goals.
Oh my goodness.
Christian, before we jump, how much of the loss in Real Salt Lake was NYCFC, and how much of it was RSL?
I think a lot of it came down to the fact that we didn't have Maxi Moralez available. To be completely honest, we had no creation. There was no creation. There was no Ferguson on the egg basket at the end of the tunnel. There was zero Ferguson on the egg basket, and it really annoyed me. We looked like a great team through the first 10 minutes, and then literally just the second that we realized, oh crap, our most valuable player is not on the field anymore. I just there was just Maxi, for a 5-3 player, holds up play so well, always finds that right option, is great at just keeping possession, and we just didn't do that. I feel like we were dispossessed at least 8-7 times, something like that. That never happens. That never happens when he's on the pitch. But I think that has a lot to do with it. And if Domi Torrent is to be believed, then we're going to miss him for the next game as well because he played in the All-Star game. Something that everybody said, "Oh, you shouldn't complain about that." I did complain about that. Would have easily taken the 1-game suspension if he wasn't playing against RSL anyway,
right?
And had him available for Atlanta. And now here we are.
Yeah, compact week, 3 games in 8 days, and Maxi potentially out. Yeah, just it was definitely it was frustrating to watch, Christian. But at the same time, when Maxi Moralez is not in the lineup, are we just expected to not be able to get results?
I don't think so much. You know what? At this point, for me personally, I find it to be I find it difficult because Mitrita. Listen, I think Mitrice's a good player, but he's not playing up to the DP tag right now. He's not. And our other DP, Jesus Medina, doesn't even belong on the team, much less making that much money and having that slot. And apart from Hebert, our best players, if you think about it, are all defensive-based. Alex Ring, James Sands, Keaton Parks, those guys are all good at, like, protecting everything, and making sure everything, like, stays together at the back. Those aren't guys that generally or consistently will provide you goals and assists. Like that's just not what their skill set is. But for right now, I think if Maxi isn't involved, it gets a bit tough. I think that might change if Ishmael Tajiri-Shradi comes back soon, but we haven't heard any updates. So.
Yeah, definitely disappointing. And again, having four games in hand on Philly, still, but you still got to win the games. So very, very disappointing, man. Hey, thanks for the call, man. We really appreciate it.
No problem, guys. Thanks for having me. See you next week.
All right.
Yep.
Christian, there. That was a good call.
Listen, it is difficult, but again, you've got to. There's got to be something to be said about when you remove one player from a team. The team should not collapse.
Implode, exactly.
You can't have it like that. You can't be leaning on one guy too much because he may be able to handle the pressure and carry the team without an issue. But the minute he's gone, the other guys don't know what to do without him. And you've got to be able to develop somebody. And again, there's rumors about Maxi wanting to finish his career
I'm picking up a call, dude, just FYI.
Bring it on.
I think Felix from the Bronx just joined. Felix.
Yeah. What up?
What's up, gentlemen? How you doing tonight, guys? How's everything, man? How's everything at NYCFC land, dudes in blue land? What's going on, guys?
It could be better.
It's all right. It's all right. It's got its ups and downs.
But it could be worse.
It could be worse.
It could be worse. I mean, it could be worse. We could be in 7th place.
Yeah.
We're not that far.
It could be a Red Bull show.
Exactly. It could be a Rebel show, but then it probably sucks.
What's on your mind about this game there, Felix?
Okay. I know we didn't have Maxi in the house, but we looked lost. I mean, it actually looked like we were trying to park the bus for 80-plus minutes. I mean, props to the ringmaster for getting that excellent goal, man. It was exquisite. But we looked lost for the rest of the game. I mean, we couldn't put chances together. RSL was, pressing really, they were pressing really tough. We had no answer for them. It just looked like we were looking for something, but we just couldn't find it. When you're looking for your keys, right? And you're looking all over the place, you make a really big mess, and then you just realize they're in your pocket. That's what happened on Saturday night.
They're always in the last place you look, aren't they, Felix?
Exactly. We had nothing. No creativity. There was, everyone disappeared. I mean, Mitrita was a ghost for like 85 minutes. I mean, I don't know, man.
But let me ask you, couldn't you expect something out of Mitrita and out of Castellanos and out of Hebert? That front three, on paper, is dynamite.
Exactly. There's goals in that. There's goals on paper right there, but unfortunately, the game isn't played on paper. Yeah, exactly. There's goals in them darn hills. Word up. But at the end of the day, man, I mean, the game's played on the field. I mean, I think we had enough. I mean, with the guys we had on field, I actually thought, somebody. All right, fine. Maxi's not in the starting 11, but hey, we got enough guys who want to step up. I mean, it's been happening all season. We have enough guys who want to step up, fill in and really make their impact felt on the game. But I feel like no one really stepped up on Saturday. I mean, I'm watching this. I'm like, come on, step up somebody. You know what I mean? We don't have Maxi, but come on, get it going.
Hold on. What game was it that Maxi got? Was it against Sporting Kansas City at home that Maxi had gotten subbed out?
Yeah,
and we wound up scoring two goals after he left.
Subbed out the 50. Yeah, exactly. That it was missing. It was non-existent. Saturday night. So. I feel like we really need, someone to really step up and be creative. I mean, Keaton Parks, he can do it. He's nice on his feet. He looks for the right pass. So, but yeah.
But he doesn't get forward enough for me. He does not get forward enough for me, Felix. For the height that man has, he should be a true box-to-boxer.
Take advantage of it.
Get that man's head on a ball.
Exactly, and I think that Dome really needs to make that one big adjustment and get Keaton a bit forward a bit more. I mean, look at the U.S. Open Cup match against North Carolina. I mean,
solid.
The man was getting forward. He was going forward. I mean, it wasn't just so much that he's staying in the midfield. No, he's getting in that box and he's attacking that box. So once he put he had that one good cross from Juan Pablo Torres. I mean, he put his head on it. That's it. 3-0. So I really feel that they have to take advantage of that tactically. I mean, I'm serious. We have to get this kid. We got to get this kid in 18 a bit more.
Yeah, for sure. Dude, you got anything for Felix before we let him jump?
No, I think you nailed it. I think it's you've got clear issues, and again, one person being omitted from the squad really should not make the team fall apart the way it does, or it did. So just gotta be better. Just really have to be better and work on getting other guys in position to be able to be creative and get the ball to the guys up top. Because those guys ultimately are going to be the ones that are going to end up winning a majority of the points for us. So just gotta figure it out.
Felix, thanks for calling, buddy.
Before I go, man, I mean, listen, I just want to say something right now. Everyone who's watching this video right now, I don't care if you're a third rail, I don't care if you're unaffiliated. Thursday night, we giving it 100%. That's it. We're gonna lose our voices on Thursday night. We're gonna go hard, and that's all I want to hear for 90 minutes. Take care, gentlemen.
I like it, Felix.
I'm down.
See you later, buddy. We appreciate it.
I better hear you, buddy. Take care, gentlemen.
You'll hear me. Don't worry about it.
Love Felix.
The best.
He's the best. Dude, we got to move on to Dude of the Week here.
Yeah, let's do it.
So, who's going to get Dude of the Week? And in the comments, throw him in, because Jefferson Savarino.
Yeah, pretty much the easiest one right there.
Is it Jefferson or Jefferson?
I could say is it jogging or yogging?
Yogging. It's a soft J.
Listen, we'll just go with Savarino. Rusnak also had a fantastic game.
It was a banger, dude. But
hell of a shot. But
Jefferson
Besler's goal
Savarino picking up the goal and the assist.
Yeah, and Besler's goal at the end was it Besler or is it Beasler? Beasler. Why am I'm reading too much into this.
The Besler.
Beasler's goal was beautiful. So
I think it was just a prayer. I think it was just like, well, I'm gonna just put my foot there and hope it goes. So something happens.
Who scored one for Chelsea like that last week? I think someone put it in theirs was much better.
Well, I know Josie Altidore scored one, but actually like an actual back heel goal a couple of weeks back.
It's the back heels, man. The back heels.
Not to get too off topic here, but on the topic of back heels, probably the best back heel that I've ever seen, at least live. Oh, yeah. You know which one I'm talking about? Fabio Quagliarella. Okay.
Stupid back.
Somehow the ball came in behind him. He was not facing the goal, and he roundhouse kicked it from behind and put it right in. I got to find that again on Twitter and bring that up. This happened last year in the Serie A. I forget who the heck they were playing. It was one of the best goals I had ever seen. I lost my mind.
Not even like a back heel or like a heel flick. It was like a shot taken backwards.
Do you remember when Zlatan scored his I think it was his 500th goal for the Galaxy, where he kind of karate kicked it?
Karate kicked it, yeah.
This transcended that on so many levels, because I don't think Quagliarella was looking at the ball. We should just make like a compilation of back heels. I want to just get like a back heel compilation. Anyway,
that's it. Let's do it.
But yeah, Beasler scores that goal, kind of on a back heel, I guess you can call it. But I don't know if that's enough for me to give him Dude of the Week. Again, you got to go above and beyond. Savarino was trying to get into the game early on, and he wound up putting the first goal in, and then wound up getting the assist to Beasler. So again, I kind of want to give it to Savarino, unless anybody else has any other recommendations here. But I honestly just kind of want to move on from this, if at all possible.
I'm good with Savarino.
You know what I'm saying? All right, congratulations, Jefferson.
Jefferson.
Unbelievable. Houston coming to town on Thursday to battle against NYCFC in the Bronx. The return of the king, Thomas Marie McNamara, is coming back.
No, not really, but okay.
He's coming back. Maybe he'll play.
Tubby Messi.
It's gonna be sad to see him at Yankee Stadium.
What minute do we start a "We Want Tommy" chant if he's not playing?
I think you got to start from minute 1, dude. I mean, like, if he's not in the starting 11, you start with the chant. I mean, I don't think you have an option.
No. They're coming off a loss, too, against Houston. Against Chicago, I mean.
They lost against they're that bad where they're losing against themselves?
That's impressive.
Disappointing week, man. Disappointing weekend. I mean, we could talk about other soccer because there was a lot of other soccer that went on. The German Super Cup, Borussia Dortmund picking up the old victory against Bayern Munich there. We had Manchester City picking up the Community Shield against Liverpool on PKs. That was that was an interesting tale of two halves if you guys watched that game. Good old Inter, won up Tottenham. Was that an ICC game?
I think so. Yes, in the Asian
something
portion. No, the Asian portion of the ICC.
Yeah,
because the ICC is played in multiple countries. So listen, again, a lot of soccer going on, a lot of fun to watch. I think we got just the. I'm concerned about not so much this transfer window because I don't know.
There's a transfer window going on?
Exactly, yeah. This is the hard part about having leagues in different, on different schedules because you got Maxi possibly leaving at the end of his contract, which ends in December.
I didn't want to talk about that.
And again, listen, you got a lot of people saying that, he can't leave, we can't be without him. You can play without him. It's just like you have to find somebody to replace him.
That's all.
It's not like there's other players that can't play in the midfield that can be creative. There are out there. It's just the fact that you want to kind of keep him you want him to, he's already got the basis here. He's got the foundation, so it'd be easier with him going forward rather than replacing him. But if he really wants to go back to play in Argentina to end his career, again, the guy's well within his rights to want to go back and play. But I think the focus, whenever the
what?
The focus.
Thank you.
The focus has to be whenever they decide to go find somebody, you've got to get somebody that can replace Maxi. And I would want to do that sooner rather than later.
But we're not doing it. But who are we looking for?
Well, it's a tough part because now if you don't want to do it this window and you want to try to do it next window, most people are going to have contracts that go into the summer. So you're not going to be able to really get them in the wintertime. You're going to end up with a couple other people that nobody's ever heard of, and I don't think you can afford to do that right now. I think right now the way season tickets are going and the way they're giving away tickets, and I don't know if you saw this, but now even if you gave up your season tickets, they gave you an offer to come back and actually still get the founding member pricing. So for me, they've completely washed out any incentive to be a season ticket holder for anyone, because if they're going to let you come back and do it, you might as well just go and come back whenever God decides to move 3 buildings around and give us a stadium. That's what it feels like it's going to happen. So it just you've got to focus on reinforcing the midfield, and I think you need some backups for Hebert because you got to get somebody that got the nose for the goal, and he's really the only one that's been showing it.
He's
on
been
a
fantastic,
basis.
dude.
He's
been
really
so good.
Really good.
Probably like one of my favorites. I mean, I love Alex Ring, love Maxi Moralez, but I'll tell you what, man, Hebert is Samba time, dude. The man is really becoming. He's becoming my Megamind is my favorite.
Listen, without question. Very good play. I'm just curious to see where this next month takes us with possible acquisitions or lack thereof, and then just trying to get through the August and September slumps that this team usually ends up hitting. So,
dude, we've got 6 more games this month, and 6 games in September. 12 games in the next 2 months. It's a lot of soccer. We're going to need some rotation. We need these guys back from injury. We need everybody healthy, and we need everybody on their A game because these guys are going to be playing more minutes than they're used to playing, and then we're at the time of the season where all these games are coming up because we need to make up the games that we missed. We need to make up these games in hand, and those games in hand are no good to us if we don't win them. Not draw. We got enough draws this season. We got to win, and it's a tough, very tough road ahead for this club, and unfortunately, it's happening at a time of the year where we typically tend to fall flat on our faces year in, year out.
Yeah, well, maybe this is the year it all changes. Who knows?
Wow. You won a game yesterday. You win one today. That's 2 in a row.
Win one tomorrow. That's called a winning streak. Yeah. Kudos if you know where that movie's from.
If you know where that quote came from, I will send you a Dudes in Blue wristband here. What are these called?
Bracelet. Rubber bracelet.
Rubber bracelet. If you know what that reference is from, drop it in the comments. These are courtesy of Uncle Dom, by the way. Courtesy of Uncle Dom. NYCFC Dudes in Blue. We'll send one out to you if you can tell us what we just quoted there. Dude, we're quoting movies now to avoid talking about NYCFC.
Listen,
The show has officially gone off the deep end.
The best thing about doing shows on Monday is that if the game is a little bit more fresh, but the downside of it is that we don't really have enough information to kind of go forward. But for the next game, the injury report doesn't come out till later on in the week. Training with the media usually doesn't happen until like Wednesday, so it's difficult, especially when such a flat performance where there's not much really good to go on. We touched on the speculation about Dries Mertens coming, not even this season, it'd be next summer. So you would still be playing essentially half the season without him in the squad. And Maxi might be. It's just a whole bunch of just crazy stuff going on right now. And not much to go on for next game. I mean, Houston coming off of a 1-0 loss to Chicago, where nothing else really happened, so their game kind of sucked. So it could be a suckfest Thursday.
It could be, but we're at home. We're at Yankee Stadium. Bring the noise. Make sure everybody bring the noise, whether you're watching at the stadium or not. We should be able to hear you if you're watching at the stadium or not. And let's look. I'm good with 4 points out of these next 2 games. Winning Thursday night against Houston is not out of the stretch, not out of the realm of possibility. And taking a point away from Atlanta, we've done it before. We've gone down there and taken a point away from them before. It's just the way it's gonna go, dude. Listen, before we wrap up the show, because I think Uncle Dom is still in here, and again, these bracelets are courtesy of Uncle Dom. These Dudes in Blue bracelets. The next if you call in, the phone number is 646-535-7982, and give a shout out to Uncle Dom. We'll send you a bracelet for free on us. That's a pretty good deal. All you got to do is, we're closing out the show. We're trying to keep things positive, end things on a high note. Call in.
If you got something to say, if you want to talk about something, you're more than welcome to. But if you want to shout out Uncle Dom, you get a nice bracelet.
And we got a call coming in. Let's see what we got.
Who is it? It could be Uncle Dom.
Hey, what's up? You're on with the Dudes in Blue. Who's this? Where you from?
What's up? It's Jay. Same dude from last week, third round. What's up, man?
Hey,
Jay, what's up, buddy?
What's up? Yo, I got a few things I feel like I have to say when it comes to NYCFC. And for one, I got to say, I'm a huge Yankee fan, but what went on Saturday night with the Yankees and the S Network when it came to NYCFC really pissed me off because they didn't play the game live. And a lot of people couldn't get it. ESPN Plus blacks you out if you're in New York to watch it, regardless of whether it's on TV or not. And apparently some people had a problem with Fox Sports Go, so I get it on there as well.
I will tell you, Jay.
Now,
I will tell you when I first turned on Yes, and then realized the game wasn't on. I then went immediately to Fox Sports Go, and the game on Fox Sports Go said 11 p.m. and then it got changed to 10. And then when I finally got in, probably for the first like 15 or 20 minutes of the game would just cut out.
Well, I was up at St. Pat's with other third rail members, and we were able to. I don't know what St. Pat's did, but we were able to get the game on. So I was happy about that. But it was like sometimes like cut off, come back, but it wasn't really bad. We were able to see pretty much the whole game with no problem, thankfully.
But
so
still, I get it. I mean, dude, like, come on, like,
struggle. You shouldn't have to struggle to be able to watch
your team.
The game.
Yeah, it's and Yankees own. They're a minority owner. You would think that you would want people to be able to watch it, but apparently not.
Not when Yankees programming takes precedence. They will always take precedence over NYCFC. There is no question about that, no matter what happens.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it's right.
Really...
I just think that's what's going to happen.
Well, I mean, so here's the thing. I mean, and this is a really good subject to speak on because, listen, you've got far more commercials during the Yankee game than you do during a soccer match, no matter what match is being played. So they're going to pull in more money that way. My question is, they definitely has a spare channel. It's Yes 2, and whenever like the Nets are playing at the same time as the Yankees and they're both on, the Nets end up going on Yes 2, and it's some random station that you have that you can put on. That's fine. They could do that. They choose not to. I don't know why. But with so many people cutting the cord these days and relying on the streaming services, Fox, you still have to have it in your cable subscription. So you can't watch it that way. So you're blacking out games on ESPN. If you've cut the cord, you don't have Fox. Seldom do you have Fox Sports. So how are a majority of people supposed to watch the games?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But I watch Colombian soccer a lot because I'm part Colombian, and at least on there, they like put advertisement while the game is on, like just come across the screen. They probably won't do that here, but that's a way to get at least some advertising if you're worried about commercial money.
Yeah, but
you know
dude,
what I
but
mean?
listen, but you're talking about Colombia. What's the number one sport in Colombia?
Soccer.
There you go.
You know?
And they don't mind playing it. They don't mind showing it. But I agree, though. There are times when ESPN will actually, during the first half or the second half, I think they'll shrink the game a little bit, and then they'll put an ad running on the bottom with some type of information, and they'll blow the game back up again. That's got to be explored, too, for this league.
Yeah, I've seen that I never watched soccer on ESPN, to be honest, other than ESPN Plus, but I've seen them do that during baseball games. They just like minimize the game and just throw on some commercials.
Yeah.
So they could do that. I don't know how many people will be happy about it. Don't get me wrong, but it's just like they could probably get more soccer games, more TV time because now you're gonna make commercial money.
Yeah, it's
for
frustrating,
sure.
man.
And if that money can be filtered back into the league and help it expand and grow and maybe change some of the rules that are holding it back, I'm all for it. I don't mind you shrinking the game down a few inches on Listen, most people that are watching on a TV, nobody's really got small TVs anymore. You can get a 40-inch TV for $150 at Best Buy.
Yeah.
My TV's 65 inches behind me over here. So it's like you're shrinking the game. You're really not doing anything, and I don't really pay attention to the ad. I'm going to watch the game anyway. So it's a really It's an alternative that needs to be explored, especially because I think in this country, money is king for every single thing known to man. So if you're trying to make more money via a broadcast, that's got to be your number one way to do it.
Yeah, but I don't know if you guys remember this, but this came out. I think it came out this year. Don Garber said that by either 2021 or 2022 or something like that, no more regional networks hosting MLS games. So I don't think that I think this is a temporary thing. If nothing else, I think most of these games are going to be nationally broadcast or a proprietary streaming service, which would be.
I think we should pay Don Garber and Gam and Tim. See how he likes it.
Well, he makes up the rules. He'll just change them. Jay, you got anything else on your mind before we let you jump, man?
Yes, actually. I read an article recently that said they may open up a soccer-specific stadium at Willets Point. That may be a thing. And this is my thing, because it seems to be linked with David Villa's new club.
Yes.
And it's kind of annoying because it's just like, David Villa could have been possibly, like a advocate for NYCFC to get us a stadium. But now he's got a friend in politics, and he may get a stadium for a completely different club before we do. And it's kind of annoying to me.
It's it's definitely upsetting that news came out. I mean, it's kind of been around the mill for a little while now, but I think it's a USL team. David Villa is championing, and yes, they're probably going to get a stadium before us. But I think at the same time, though, I think their stadium requirements are significantly less than MLS stadium requirements, but I could be totally wrong. I have no idea. I have no idea if this is actually going to happen. If it does, it's a total slap in the face. And yes, I agree. David Villa should be a part of this organization.
Actually, I got to say, because it's Corona, and Corona has a large immigrant Hispanic community, so I feel like they may be able to pull in some numbers because a lot of people watch soccer and play soccer, so it may actually go well for them. But definitely the requirement is probably going to be a lot lower than what an MLS stadium would need to open up. So it may be a small stadium.
I would think so, but nevertheless, still frustrating.
Yeah.
It is.
Again, who knows at this point? It's just I think take any stadium related news within the 5 boroughs you hear with a massive grain of salt, because you've heard everything for the last 5 or 6 years and nothing's ever come to fruition. As far as being close, none of us know. You've heard rumors left and right from this guy, that guy, this guy's sister, that guy's cousin. You're just not going to know. And honestly, none of us should really believe anything until someone puts a shovel in the ground. Or better than that, when you're sitting in your new seat.
Because even still, things can happen. Jay, we got to let you jump, man. We got to wrap things up. I appreciate the call.
No problem. I'll talk to you guys next week.
All right, man.
You got it, Jay.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah.
There's a lot going on this week, and try to catch it all. Try to get on top of everything, but it's tough. It's tough. This stadium thing is just it's so draining. It really is.
That's why we don't talk about it.
That's it. I refuse.
That's it. All right, guys, this has been episode 164. Really appreciate you being here. If you're watching on the Facebook broadcast, if you're listening on the pod, we really appreciate you. We love you. Thanks to all the callers tonight. As always, a lot of fun doing that. It's all fantastic. Make sure Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, we are at Dudes in Blue. That's how to get a hold of us. We're not going to be doing another show after the Houston game because it's on Thursday. We're going to just do it all on Monday, where we'll have the Houston and Atlanta match to cover. So there'll be a lot going on Monday night. If you're watching live, and on Tuesday next week for the pod. So it's going to be a packed one next week, dude. So get those calls right.
That's going to be a good one.
One way or another, it'll be a good one, depending on the results, of course. But I think either way, I think we'll have a jam-packed show for you guys next week. You guys have been awesome. If you can, one thing we really appreciate is if you leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or on Facebook, wherever you're watching. And also sharing this and subscribing on YouTube if you're watching. Everybody, you guys have been fantastic. So any kind of support you bring us means a lot. So, dude, this has been fun. I wish we had a better result to talk about. Usually those late night games, those late night Western Conference games don't pan out too well for us. But nevertheless, onward we must go. Dude, we'll be back next week. But until then,
stay blue.
But you're wearing yellow. Adios.
Future so bright in each shades.